As we can see, we are in the heart of the hospital.
Israel's military released video of what it says soldiers found at Al-Shifa. Proof, they say, that underneath the hospital was a Hamas command center. They claim they discovered a vehicle filled with weapons and ammunition. And they released new images which they say show a tunnel at Al-Shifa and another Gaza hospital. Another discovery, says the IDF, the body of Yehudit Weiss, a 64-year-old cancer patient, one of the roughly 240 people taken hostage on October 7th. Israel described its operation at Al-Shifa as precise and targeted, while the Hamas-run health ministry accused them of ransacking the hospital and questioning patients, medical staff, and those sheltering there. CBC News wasn't able to reach any of the doctors at the hospital because of a communications blackout.
No fuel, no bakery, no fuel, no hospital, no fuel, no water, and here, no fuel, no communication.
Israel started letting some fuel into Gaza for the first time, but the UN says it's not enough amid a rapidly worsening humanitarian crisis. There's not enough food or clean water. Most of the hospitals have stopped functioning, and the ones that are still operating are overwhelmed. Hundreds of thousands have fled their homes in the north, now staying in crowded apartments and tents in the south. But Israel's military has warned those living in 4 towns in the south to seek shelter somewhere else. They asked us to go to the south. Now they're asking us to leave. Where do we go, says this man. The region is in such chaos that Gaza officials haven't been able to update the number of how many have been killed, which stands at more than 11,000. And international concern is growing.
We are in active conversations with the government of Israel about ensuring that civilians can be safe from harm.
Israel says it targeted senior Hamas leaders hiding underground. But in Israel, hundreds of families of hostages are holding protests, fearing the government is putting their loved ones at risk.
We demand our government to do more, to make a deal to include all the hostages in any price.
The march will end in Jerusalem on Saturday in front of the Prime Minister's house, where they will demand the government make a deal with the militants it's at war with.
Briar, that humanitarian situation is prompting a lot of concern, including here in Canada.
Well, yes, Ian. Negotiations are underway about increasing the amount of humanitarian aid and fuel entering Gaza through the Rafah crossing at Egypt. And that's where many of the foreign nationals have been able to exit Gaza. The Canadian government says that nearly 370 Canadian citizens, permanent residents, and their family members have left the region. And it's aware of 7 Canadian citizens that have been killed in the escalating violence.
Briar Stewart reporting from Jerusalem.